It's a holly jolly skincare. It's the best time of the year. I don't know if there'll be sunscreen, but have a cup of cheer. All right, guys, who's excited? I know I am. Check out the beauty that both Stylevana and YesStyle have constructed this year. They really outdid themselves. Stylevana stepped up because last year their packaging was a little bland in comparison to YesStyle, but look how cute. Let's find your beautiful self this holiday. These are gifted to me, and it's my tradition on the channel to unbox them in the vlogs as we go along because that's what we do. So I think today I'm gonna do the first 7 days of Stylevana, and then in tomorrow's vlog on Sunday, you will see me unbox the first 7 days of the YesStyle calendar. Let's get it started. Day 1. Ooh, it's a long box. Ooh, all right, I'm already excited because this is a Korean brand that I really like, Ionic, and their Centella sunscreen is a favorite. So I'm really looking forward to trying their cleansing foam. The best part about these calendars is they're full-size products, no little wimpy travel size one and dones, you know what I mean? It has licorice root, which is good for redness and the moisture barrier. It has compounds from Centella, which are anti-inflammatory. Look forward to trying this. Ionic has some really good skincare overall, I would say. Moving on to day 2. All right, we have something from the brand Axis Y. This is a 10% PHA resurfacing water peel that removes dead skin cells to leave your skin fresh and glowing. So I've actually tried this product before. Now, polyhydroxy acids are really good for gently exfoliating sensitive skin. They're moisturizing. From what I remember about this product, it was okay. It was not like amazing, but it wasn't bad. It does have papaya fruit extract in it, which might be irritating for some. The polyhydroxy acid is gluconolactone. It also has Centella asiatica extract, which may have some anti-inflammatory compounds in it. Day 3. This is the Sun by Me AHA, BHA, PHA 30 Days Miracle Toner. Am I holding it up there? Now, I've used their body wash and it's really good. The body wash is good if you are prone to breakouts. Have I used the toner before? I can't remember. I feel like I have used this toner before. Man, I have tried so many products over the years, I'm starting to forget, but I know the body wash is really good. So it has niacinamide, which is good for redness, dark spots, hyperpigmentation. And it also has papaya fruit extract, again, might be irritating for some. It has witch hazel extract, which is soothing, anti-inflammatory, may help with redness, but also, you know, you could be irritated by that. It's got salicylic acid, good for exfoliating the pore. Oh, peppermint oil, gonna make it tingle, but that is something you might be allergic to and might be irritating, especially if you have rosacea. This is a no-go for rosacea, most likely, I would say. Everyone's rosacea is individualized, but peppermint essential oils, peppermint oil, tends to aggravate rosacea. Day 4. Something from Purito. This is their galactoniacin 97 Power Essence. Let's open it up. Ooh. Clear, colorless liquid in a pump. This looks promising. It has galactomyces ferment filtrate and a lactobacillus ferment. These ferments are typically enriched in anti-inflammatory compounds, humectants. This has 5% niacinamide, which is good for dark spots, redness, the moisture barrier, and is a reasonable percentage strength. And it also has dipotassium glycyrrhizate, which comes from licorice root and is good for redness. After cleansing and toning, apply 1 to 2 pumps of the essence all over the face. Gently pat product into the skin. Definitely excited to try this. Let me know if you've tried it. Day 5. is something from this brand Torridon. So amazing, an ampule. Never heard of this brand before. Looks like a vitamin C product. 5 different types of vitamin C. 3-O-ethyl ascorbic acid, sodium ascorbyl phosphate, ascorbyl glucoside, and ascorbyl palmitate. Sodium ascorbyl phosphate, SAP, is a stable form of vitamin C. There's one small study that suggests it might be helpful for acne. Ascorbic acid is a form of vitamin C that shows promise for improving collagen production, but is limited by its stability. The other forms of vitamin C, ascorbyl glucoside and ascorbyl palmitate and 3-O-ethyl ascorbic acid, may be anti-inflammatory, but no evidence that they get converted to ascorbic acid to improve collagen. Now this also has panthenol, which is moisturizing and soothing. Bergamot fruit oil, however, that's an essential oil that is basically fragrance, so you can be allergic to that. It might be irritating. But this is aimed at brightening dark spots. Apply an appropriate amount on the face and pat lightly to help absorb into the skin. Moving on to day 6. Might be the first makeup product. What do you guys think? Sometimes we get good makeup in these calendars. Kind of hard to get that one out. Might need to take out this one again. There we go. No makeup, but rather some type of sheet mask. Ooh, excited about this because I really like APLB glutathione niacinamide line. As you guys know, I recently finished up their lotion, and I also just finished up their sunscreen, which I rather enjoyed. Highly recommend both of those products. And here we have a sheet mask, 2 sheet masks from the brand, from that line. So glutathione and niacinamide are antioxidants, which are anti-inflammatory and helpful for the moisture barrier, maybe good for calming down redness and dark spots. These also have dipotassium glycyrrhizate, which again comes from licorice root. There are compounds from centella in here, which are anti-inflammatory. Urea, which is good for moisturizing the skin. No fragrance, aside from the tea tree leaf extract, which you might be allergic to, but hydrolyzed collagen is very moisturizing. These look promising. I'm not one to regularly do sheet masks, but I do find them to be helpful in terms of moisturizing and brightening up skin tone, albeit temporarily, improving skin luminosity, giving you that kind of bouncy, fresh glow. They're a great way to start your day or end your day. So I will definitely enjoy trying those out. And day 7. I feel like I'm seeing purple. I'm willing to bet this is going to be something from the Sun by Me line. What do we think? They have a purple line. No. Shea butter, glycerin, coconut oil, compounds from centella, some ferment filtrates, ceramides. So I didn't capture this earlier, but the applicator to this eye cream, it vibrates. This also has bakuchiol in it, an antioxidant people like to allege is, it's vibrating my hand. People like to allege it's like a retinol alternative. It's just an antioxidant. It doesn't do what retinol does, but anyway, here's what the product looks like. This brand is the one that has all of the spicule products that I have a video cautioning against. From what I can tell, this eye cream does not have the spicules in it. And it does have a strong fragrance, which for delicate eyelid skin is a choice. So that is the first 7 days of Stylevana. Now, come back tomorrow because we're going to be doing the first 7 days of Yes Style. Come back for tomorrow's vlog to see what jazzy stuff we got. Well, the clock was only ticking. It was only a matter of time. So I've been continuing to use that glycolic acid nail prep that I got from Dr. Dana. It was sent to me in PR, not sponsored. And I reviewed it for you guys in my little Fast 5. And let me tell you, I do believe it's a good product for helping improve the health of the nail plate, but growing out your nails, there's definitely a timeline when it comes to growing out your nails where you get to a certain point on the timeline and it's like, what are we even trying to accomplish here at this point? you're only gonna make matters worse if you keep letting them grow at this point, because I mean, and that's gonna vary from person to person in terms of just the way their nail unit is kind of oriented, for lack of a better word. But the longer the nail gets, it becomes more vulnerable to dehydration, especially the part overhanging like your actual finger. It becomes vulnerable to losing water or brittle. It kind of curls a little bit on the edges, a lot more likely to snag on things. And let me tell you, that is what happened to me today with the middle finger, which I'm not going to show you guys because I respect you way too much to do that. But it's so annoying when that happens. I have to cut my nail right away if that happens, because a jagged edge, ooh, no thank you. Unless you are an R&B group, I do not want you in my life. Because I can't stand that, and eyelash rolling around your eyeball, the worst feelings on earth. But yeah, keeping the nails trimmed short is the ticket to growing out your nails. Like taking back some of your nail health, I should say, because it's like, I want long nails, what do you mean cut them? But it will help them to grow out more healthily, because like I said, the longer they get, the more vulnerable they are to dehydration. Plus, as they hit on things, that's traumatic to the nail unit and can slow down nail growth for sure. That being said, using your hands a lot increases blood flow to the nail unit and helps with nail growth. So that can be helpful. Speaking of which, topical minoxidil, Rogaine, seems to be helpful for nail growth, likely because it improves blood flow to the nail unit. There are scattered case reports of it helping. I've observed it helpful for people. So it's, you know, something you might want to try. Although minoxidil, you got to be careful, you know, because you're putting it on your fingers and you go touching your face. Next thing you know, you got a sideburn you didn't ask for. Okay, and then you got to like stop everything and let that regress and go away. And as a matter of fact, a lot of people end up, when they use minoxidil, a lot of women, when they use minoxidil, gets on the face and they start getting unwanted hair growth, like, you know, on the sides of the face, especially. And I will say the solution is a little bit less likely for that to happen in comparison to the foam. But the foam does not have propylene glycol, which seems to be the culprit in the dryness and irritation that a lot of people experience with minoxidil. So it's like, oh, okay, we'll use the foam. Well, now the foam's getting all over the place. So make sure when you're using the foam to your scalp that you really let it have some time to dry down before you go hopping in the bed, to cut down on the risk of it transferring to your face. You can use a shower cap. Now, a lot of people want to use minoxidil to their brow bone to improve brow growth. That's another one of those situations where it can work, but it can also be a pain, because you can end up with a unibrow. You can end up with hair growth like up in here where you didn't ask for it. And it can also, you know, the thing about minoxidil is it puts hairs into the anagen phase of the growth cycle. It's not like it, you know, brings about hair follicles you never had. Nothing can do that, other than a hair transplant, I should say. It's not as though it brings out follicles that you never had. What it does is it puts the follicles you have into anagen. It puts them into anagen. And in order for it to put hair follicles into anagen, they've got to go through telogen. So you get a bunch of shedding first, which freaks people out. So it can be, you know, on the hair, it freaks people out when they're trying to grow their hair, because they're like, I started this for hair growth and now I'm shedding like none other. What is going on? That's what's going on. It's a sign of the seasons of your hair shifting around. But on the brow, it's like, yeah, you have that shedding period and then the hairs grow in, and you got to keep using it. Same with the scalp. It's not a cure or anything. It's just like kind of patching up what you have as far as hair thinning. And as soon as you stop, the hair will shed and grow back. Now, as far as low-level laser it works to both improve blood flow to the follicle as well as reduce inflammation. And it also helps to improve metabolic health in the cells, boost mitochondrial function. So it helps the metabolism, which in my videos on hair growth, it freaked me out. I have one of the little pumpkins out there on the windowsill, and it's all the stem, and I was like, yeah, out of the corner of my eye, everything looks terrifying. Anyway, the thing about low-level laser therapy, so it has a few different mechanisms. Now, when you stop it, you can't, your hair, you do have to keep, the recommendation is keep using it in order to maintain the results. But we really don't have a lot of really good, like, long-term studies to know, like, well, how long do you need to use it? And if you stop, do you retain some of that? Like, depending on the process, like, does it shut down some of the process? So it's kind of hard to know for sure, but I have used mine daily. I'm using the Elite now, 12 minutes a day, and I don't really plan on stopping it, but I don't use it if I travel and take it with me. And so I'll have a little gap here and there of like a couple of days where I'm not using it, but I've stayed consistent with that thing. But it, you can get some shedding and going back to baseline with that. But all I have to say, in contrast to minoxidil, we don't have enough like the long-term experience use of low-level laser, the at-home stuff, to really adequately predict, like, if somebody were to stop, like, can they theoretically retain some of their hair? More research is needed. Anyways, guys, minoxidil aside, I hope you all are having a fantastic weekend. And that you enjoyed this vlog. Thank you so much for making it to the end. If you guys liked it, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.